So, Christmas, the most recent holiday. We all know it. We all mostly should love it, except for the few Scrooges and Grinches out there. But not many truly know of the history and origins of Christmas and many of the traditions that we have. So, while many are familiar with the pagan origins of Christmas, not many know of the ancient Roman winter celebration of Saturnalia. Saturn is the Roman god of agriculture, and for nearly a whole month, they honored him with the hedonistic celebration of drinking, feasting, and participating in wild festivities where their society was turned on its head. The slaves were the masters, and everyone partied in the streets like it was no tomorrow. The schools and businesses were closed so everyone could join in these festivities. This was also the time of the Roman holiday and celebration of Juvenalia, where children were honored and where a goddess, who is believed to be the goddess of children, was also born. So the late December was seen as a very important time to the Romans. Additionally, another pagan celebration that may be more well known would be that of Yule, the Scandinavian and Germanic winter holiday. It too would take place in late December, starting on the winter solstice, and would feature grand feasts and copious amounts of alcohol. Many cattle and other livestock would be slaughtered for the winter so they wouldn't have to feed them over the course of the harsh winter months. And this was the time where many batches of beer and wine would be ready, and so they would, feast. And they would light a fire that would burn for about 12 days. So that was their 12 days of Christmas. But how does this tie into the Christmas we all know today? Well, in the 4th century, despite evidence showing that Jesus was likely born in spring or summer, as why would shepherds be out there in the middle of winter, Pope Julius I decided that Jesus' birthday would be celebrated on December 25th. This was likely to absorb the various pagan traditions that also took place during this time, and increase the chance that it would be celebrated, as it was already a time of importance to many, and it wasn't just a random day. As many wanted to eliminate the pagan traditions and culture, many of these traditions lived on, and we still participate in them today, such as caroling, mistletoe, holly, and decorating Christmas trees. As important as Christmas is to most modern-day Americans, this, however, was not always the case. For some time, for about the 1st century after America's birth, we didn't celebrate Christmas, as it was seen more as an English holiday. It wasn't until there were several artists and books made of Christmas that depicted it as a time of gratefulness and family that it started to be accepted by the Americans, and slowly turned into not just a religious holiday, but into the cultural holiday that we Americans celebrate. And another part of Christmas is the big jolly red man. Many other cultures have various versions of Santa Claus or other magical beings that would bring gifts or punish children who have been bad. And there's some Polish one where it's a horse skull. I prefer Santa. The true story of Santa Claus starts with Saint Nicholas, as many know, and the Dutch name of his, Santa Claus, became how we know of Santa Claus. And he, throughout his life, in the late 400s, he gifted many children and people presents and toys and gold, and he became pretty much a patron saint of children. And on the eve of his death, December 6th, many children were also gifted with presents, and so that is why in many other countries, December 6th is the day that is celebrated. And so, no matter the origins of all these various traditions and the day itself, today it is a celebration of family, of what we have, and of giving. You know, many that are even without families are brought in, they're cared for. We give food and money to the homeless these days, so I say it doesn't really matter how it became as it is today.